with illusion while trying to cope. The pyramids, the Sphinx, and then Hollywood, miscellaneous, miseducated, and misunderstood, consumed by power in the very least, consumed by greed, and then the beast. Every situation becomes someone to beat. You feel the devil's presence, but you don't feel the heat. Violence prone, like blood to the heart. Self-destruction becomes state of the art. Riding in luxury, with death on their minds. Is it coming tomorrow? Should I open the blinds? Ooh, these millimeters and Italian rags, Gucci watches and body bags, designer jackets, designer shoes, old-fashioned bullets with designer blues. Passing time, only to fail the test, down by law, and then under arrest. Play that music, play it loud, take the fall, and then play the crowd, wailing saxophones and funky bass, same old cell block and CO's face, using women like they don't exist. Something in the mind begins to twist. Gang bangs and free for all. You stand erect, but you don't stand tall. And mama, with all that stress and strain and all those prayers that try to keep you sane in the midst of night where human becomes light. Young boys, and mama with all that stress and strain and all those prayers to keep you sane. That voice that whispers in the dark of night where human becomes savage and blinded by night. Where drug-related cops, set them up with drug-related cops, pick up drug-related Jews, setting them up to be on the drug-related news. Young boys, you are not alone. The dilemma is real, but not your own. The streets take your soul and give nothing in return. A point of reference should be a point to learn. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. They become your excuse, and then your pride. Every little rhythm, every little beat, every little thing becomes the street. Deeply wounded and deeply scarred, you take what is left and you turn it hard. You take the night and you make it day. You take the consequences but forget to pay. You take insanity and you make it sane. You take the extreme and feed it your brain. Thoughts are confused and then become odd. Your slickness becomes arrogance and then your God. Deeper and deeper into the dark abyss. Drive-by shootings that begin to miss. Life becomes useless and carved in stone. The streets know the ending and set the tone. Isolated from self, isolated from mind, isolated from happiness, you will never find. Love becomes instant and then a flash. Misery becomes nuisance and then a rash. Peace of mind becomes distant and then far away. Hope becomes a mute with nothing to say. Emotions become callous and cold to the touch. You want to laugh, but it hurts so much. You reach out to be touched, but there's no one there. You cry out to the streets, but they don't care. One morning they find you with your face in the mud. There are no wounds, there is no blood, but in your eyes is that mystery that has finally become known, that the streets don't work with anybody, they only work alone. Young boys, don't make me repeat, the worst thing to do is to die. And the streets are calling, there's always the streets, from shoeshine boys to big time, to trick or treat.
A major piece. Yes. See, that's why. Yeah, give it up. You deserve it. Yes. Come on, y'all. Make him feel good. Come on, you know, see, that's the thing about poets. You can't applaud for poets. They don't like that shit. Just do you understand?
Y'all can throw some money up here if you want to, guys. I'm not gonna do that. For real.
Oh, he's a real people boy. Even back in the days, you know, run around, do poetry, different villages for food and shit like that.
We don't like it, but we need money. Fuck that bullshit. I ain't that motherfucking much of a poet, man. That's just stupid shit.
No, that's a real poet, man. He has to have money. No. I wish somebody. Hey, I wish somebody.
To be a poet, it's also nice to have money in your pocket too, especially in America and especially in New York City.
But you know, but check out the word poet. Poet just kind of means you're gonna be poor. Poet, P-O-P-O-R.
I think it's time to get off the stage now. He's getting a little weary here. It's time to get off the stage now. He's getting a little weary.
You've got to do something more than just be a goddamn poet. You know better than that.
Alright, moving right along.
Umar, I'm gonna dedicate this to you, Umar, because you're a poet.
Moving right along.
This is gonna be dedicated to my brother, my partner, and to all the other brothers and partners and sisters and brothers and all the folks in the house that understand. If we only knew what we could do. 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 We stop fussing and fighting and feeling blue. If we only knew that we have juice cause of an African connection that we can't cut loose. If the light was on in our minds, we wouldn't diss ourselves so much all the time. Stop and realize without disguise, we've got the power to change what's before our eyes. Where there is poverty and misery, we bring hope, joy, love, and security. There wouldn't be no need to lock your doors at night, cause no one lives in the dark. Everyone sees a light. If we only knew what we could do. If we only knew what we could do. If we only knew how bad we are. We make the sun disappear because we're the brightest star. If you feel the strength, then help those who are weak. Then we'll be stepping to the rhythm like Malcolm speaks. So you thought you were a chicken and your butt was made for kicking. You've been running around with your head hanging down, looking for chicken feed in this city of greed. Open up your eyes. Don't you know you can fly like an eagle to the sky, much higher than high? You don't need no crack, smack a patty, whack. All the bones from that dog, you can give them right back. If we only knew what we could do. If we only knew what we could do. If we only knew what we could do. We stop fussing and fighting and feeling blue. Just like we cut our hair in an African style. We show rich real treasure every time we smile. Some time ago, we just didn't know that we had the power to make the whole thing go. Motivated, educated, we're a power generator. Need to own the joint instead of working as a waiter. If we only knew what we could do. If we only knew how strong our will, no matter what's been done, our souls can be killed like the sun and the moon and all the stars above. It's a natural thing for us to share our love. We're a healing force in a world of pain, trying to use common sense where life is insane. If we can recognize just who we be, we take control of our lives and live with dignity. If we only knew what we could do. 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 We're going to leave you with this last piece. And it's actually from the second album, and some of you may have that. And we do have the new album out, and it's a monster. I mean, I want to, you know, like, well, you know, it's brag.
You want to keep saying, yes you do, yes you do.
Well, it's a monster. It's a monster.
You want to keep saying that.
It is, and it's very beautiful. I'm very proud of it. And it's cool.
Keep saying it's a monster.
And it's called The Time Has Come.
We wanted to sell. People say, well, y'all are selling out. Last portion, you motherfucking might be coming selling out. I'm trying to sell every CD, T-shirt, any motherfucking thing else I can sell. I'm a sellout, for real. I'll tell you too, I'm a sellout. You ain't gotta ask me. Ask nobody else. Am I selling out? Yes, go ask me. He's selling out. I got money in my pocket too for selling out.
Umar, where's your righteousness, my brother? About the people.
Oh, I got right here in my pocket. I got righteousness. It's right here. Right here. Well, here, I'll show you. See? I can't help that shit, I'm sorry. No, we can't. Scorpio can't help themselves.
Nasty boy.
We help other people, but in my face, and tiny tears sticking his moldy penis into my beating mind as it cries for the string to repel the sanctimonious sounds of the right rock group, the faithful dead of my aspirations as they struggle for a free, sweet-smelling breath of life, are being choked by the Christianity gas passed by the most reverend Bishop Bulton J.C. as he shouts it to it, oh, in the name of the Lord now. And my realities have turned into a stone figuration of Miss Liberty as he stands on the corners of the world selling herself to anyone with the head of George Washington on them, and all the while he sits on a throne of eagle shit with DDT in one hand and a white tornado in the other, wearing a crown of castrated black dicks and reading the non-violent thoughts of Gandhi. And I watch him relax, and I watch him relax, I watch him relax by playing golf with Bobokin's bars, with Ben and Rustin glued to his thing, while Xerox copies of Martin Luther King are popping from his skull to dream the impossible dream. Knock, knock, who's there? It's Red Brown, and if you don't open up, I'll strike a light and burn your house down. And I see Malcolm's spirit, and I see Malcolm's spirit, and I see Malcolm's spirit, his eyes burning red, black and green flames, and crying tears of Thunderbird wine that seem to touch my lips and make me become thirsty for a taste of freedom. It's necessary to have freedom by any means necessary, and I begin to hate with love and love with hate. And I look up and see the moon. And I look up and see the moon bleeding lifeless white maggots and screaming for my help as the eagle's ripping claws rip and tear and his virginal form. Oh Isis, oh Moses, oh Sunra, oh Allah, Bismillah, Rahman, Rahim, give me your undying strength to rise up and reorder the cosmos so that man can truly understand and appreciate the cosmic beauties and realities of science and love. And he has turned the feminine part of me into a sexual freak. Look at her standing there wearing a micro miniskirt made from the strands of Freud's mother's pubic hairs and an uncovered breast doing blood and pus, and her lips colored with an anesthetic white woman called Yvonne. But yet she smiles at me, with the indignity of Murakami ejaculating sperm into her mind, and George Wallace mentally finger fucking her at night in his wet dreams, and her soft, wet, clinging tears of love seem to flood my heart with strength to gather all of my manhood from my lower head and to put it back into my upper head. And I hear my mother's voice, and I hear my mother's voice, and I hear my mother's voice rustling in the wind, reminding me of the many times he tried to rape her of her blackness, but she, with the strength of a panther, the swiftness of a cheetah, and the cunning of a lioness, would not be caged up with the other lies that kept me from being totally free. And when she came home at night, I could smell the musty closeness of his body and see his translucent fingerprints on a giant, really physical structure depressed from one off his beastly attacks. But she would smile the smile of 1,000 black orchids at me. But she would smile the smile of 1,000 black orchids at me. Now realizing all the while that the anger of 100 lions was residing in my soul, and doing all this time, my father was somewhere drowning his nutri-plastic minded self in a bottle of cheap wine and letting that spiritual canvas, John Coltrane, pay celestial homage to that white God who was lying in his man. And down in Ross, how could you be supreme and sing songs of black love when your mouth is overrunning with the sperm of trigger? And William Steinman is going to commit suicide when he finds out Nat Turner made love to his great-great-grandmother, and he has taken our most violent and militant leaders and stuck lollipops up their ass to pacify their black power thoughts, and he is beginning to assume that all of us were born under the Scientologist of war, because all we do is